Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, think left.
Hello.
Think left, yeah.
How are y'all doing?
Sorry.
It's one of Michael's or one that's Michael O'Brien and then one of Siggy's kind of family that just came to state.
Yeah.
All right.
How are y'all doing?
Okay.
So I'll let y'all know. As as y'all know, Theo's been kind of different. He's been more distant, and whenever he is around, he kind of doesn't hang around us very often. Yesterday, before we were moving Danny's body, Kragan was talking to me about stepping out of the remnants, possibly dissolving the remnants, and or possibly having Theo step down since he's not around, and maybe bringing Robert in. And then we were also going to talk to Boone about him paying up the money or potentially not being in the remnants. Just trying to get an understanding and talking to Boone about his recent behaviors, shit like that. So when we got back to Blackwater, we were talking to Boone, and of course Kragan got upset. And Boone made a point that he still had till the end of the month to pay his money, and that he would. And me and Robert were telling Kragan, well, he does still have to the end of the month. If he doesn't, then if he doesn't pay, then we can discuss the fact that he's not contributing like the other group members and where he lies in all this. But he has till the end of the month, and maybe going forward, we can discuss about changing how the group tax works, like maybe change the date to the 7th. I don't know. We've learned that this doesn't work very well. We just make adjustments. Then Kragan said, everyone else can pay on the 7th, Boone can pay on the 1st. And I said, no, he will have the same date as everyone else. It's no difference. And then Kragan pulls out his gun and he shoots Boone point blank in the face. He's standing as close as, well, a little bit closer than where you and Kiara, Jessica and Kiara are standing to each other right now. I tie Kragan up, let him break himself free. Boone is bleeding out, crying, saying he doesn't want to die, and he slips into unconsciousness, stops breathing. It pretty much turns into him falling into a coma, and he almost died. Right now, he's in Saint Denis. And at that point in time when we were in there and he was getting his surgery, Theo and wait, no. I don't want to leave out something important for y'all. Y'all need to know. Since Kragan shot Boone and tried to kill him, deputies showed up, and I did tell them that Kragan shot Boone. Because I felt like if any of our members try to shoot one another like that, try to murder each other, it should, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say some random man just stepped in and shot them. I think that is a slap in the face to someone that is dying. So yeah, I told them what happened. Kragan was leaving. Yeah. So then we're in Saint Denis, and Theo and Kragan ride up. And Kragan leaves. Theo's starting to ask, how's y'all's day going? And I told him, well, my brother is, he might die. Shit's not going very well. And he said, well, it's some of Kragan's fault, but it's just as much Boone's fault. And I said, Boone almost got murdered over money. And he pretty much, Theo didn't really care. You know how he sounds. sometimes when we present him with an internal issue and feelings are, I don't know, when we have problems. And he moved on to a different subject, asking how things were going with like issues with the Callahans and stuff. And he said in that regard, oh, well, I don't have any problems with anyone. I don't really give a fuck about that. And then I said, you don't give a fuck about much these days. And I went back inside to check on Boone. And then that's when Theo started talking to Robert and Siggy. And Theo brought up the fact that, oh, wait, no. Then he said, I said, we shouldn't be trying to kill each other. And he's like, that's an interesting concept. And I said, it's not a concept, it's something that we laid down a long time ago. And then when I was inside, he did express that it was bad or ridiculous that I told the deputies what happened. And Robert said that it was ridiculous that we're shooting each other now. And yeah, there was a little argument between them from what I hear. And pretty much Theo took off his necktie and threw it down and he walked away. Kragan's out. From what I heard, he's riding around with Ashen and the Coleman at the moment. And Theo is riding from camp to camp, asking people or telling people that if they need any criminal jobs done, he will offer out his services. Conrad is gone. Jimmy is in Siska facing the death penalty. And yeah. So far, the rest of us remain. I don't plan on dissolving the gang. It's really up to y'all what y'all want to do. If y'all want to stay in or if y'all want to leave. I know, Jessica, you're in a tough position and your husband just left. So I don't blame you for any decision that you want to make. But I did want y'all to know what's going on so that y'all can make those decisions. But we're going to continue going and trying to build from the aftermath.
I mean, in all honesty, I don't think the gang's been right for a while, to be honest. A lot of leadership issues. And I think that the divorce definitely played a trick on Cragen and messed him up. And I think that it rippled along the gang and it caused everyone within the gang to have things going on.
Yeah. Kraken told me Theodore refused to work with me because of the divorce, and I didn't hear that till yesterday. So.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only reason why Cragen and Theo are pretty much still staying around was I talked to them a lot about certain things. I honestly thought it was worth giving it a shot to fix it, but I guess no one wanted to come together and fix it. But the other problem was that it wouldn't be able to be fixed if everyone just does their own thing and no one does anything together really much. So
yeah,
I think it just got to a point where it has so many numbers of people that when you've got so many people, it's hard to manage everyone. And I'll be honest with you, Boone, if he hasn't already, he will kill his gang. He is a piece of shit and a waste of space. And to be honest, if he wasn't shot by Craig, and he would have been shot by someone else because of his attitude and the way he acts. That's just my honest opinion.
Someone
I've tried
else
to
in
give
the
him...
gang?
Or someone, anyone. Someone would have
Yeah.
shot him eventually.
Hey, if that's a different story if someone outside the gang shot him.
I mean, I've almost shot him a couple of times.
Well, no, carry on.
I mean, he does things without thinking. The fact
Everyone
that
does things.
he's choked people out, he's almost killed other our own gang members. Even before you two were around, he did things that were very questionable. So, I mean, he continues to do things, and to be honest, someone like me who you may not always see me, doesn't mean I'm not around, and then you get people like Boone that mention stuff and just put you down and then make sly comments. I don't think it causes toxicity, and that's the problem with this within the gang is toxicity, and it's just to a point where no one wants to. It was when I joined, it was a family. We were a family, and we all did things together. It was.
I feel you.
It's the only family I had,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that there was so much potential. Theo's not perfect, I know that, and I'm not gonna sit here and defend him and say he's an angel and he knows everything and he's, the best at everything. But I think he had the right intentions on a lot of things. I think that, honestly, RSU are keeping a lot of the gang together, but then when you and Kragan separate and spent more time with Michael and all that, it basically separated some people to some degree. No, that's obviously because it's your own choice to be social. I'm not discrediting that or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you were kind of part of the glue, and obviously, you weren't happy, which is fine. You shouldn't be with someone if you're not happy, and you made choices that you had to make and decisions you had to make at the time. I don't think anyone logically can blame you for that.
Yeah.
You tried your best with those, but I think that the gang that started to the gang that's now is completely different. I
I
don't,
can agree.
we've all put our neck on the line for the gang, and I know we've all been involved in a lot with it, and still got the scars to prove it, but at the end of the day, it was worth it because it was for family. And I don't think you should dissolve the gang just because it will prove people like the Fireline right that they won. Because it's not them that actually kill gangs, it's the gangs kill themselves from internally.
Yeah.
It's if leadership as leadership, you need to come as a decision together, and no matter if there's more than three leaders, truly there has to be one true leader that pushes the final pencil and says you do it this way, because you can have multiple leaders, but it can cause a little bit of disruption. And I think the only way to really make it work is you have your leader, but you have a round table where everyone has the same outweigh of decision making, and it's up for the leader to make the final decision.
Mm-hmm.
Problem was with Crayon and Theo and yourself, if Theo wasn't around much, and then you and Craig are, but because you both are doing your own thing, it's kind of hard for you to both make a fair assumption or a fair, like a
Yeah. You saw how it was when I talked to Jethro and how they reacted.
right, exactly. And I tried to fix that, and I couldn't. Honestly, I'm just gonna say how it is because I'm not gonna just
Please don't.
sugarcoat it. I I was around quite a bit, and then I decided not to be as much because of Boone and his actions and the way he acted. He just made me not want to be around the gang, so that's why